It is time now for Morning Rounds with CBS News contributor Dr. Holly Phillips and Samantha Heller, a registered dietitian and exercise physiologist. First up, juicing, cleansing, and fad diets continue to grow in popularity, but they may not be the best way to reboot your body. So Samantha, you wrote a book, The Only Cleanse, a 14-day natural detox plan to jumpstart a lifetime of health. You say nobody really needs a cleanse, though. Why is that?
Isn't that crazy with that title? Well, you know, the only cleanse we need is the one with which we were born. Our liver, our kidneys, our lungs, our skin, our gastrointestinal tract, they are detoxifying our bodies 24/7 all day long. They're pushing out pathogens and expelling pollutants and detoxifying chemicals. And that's our body's job. Our body's job is to keep us alive and maintain what we call homeostasis, which is body balance. So what we want to do is I want to redefine the notion of cleansing and be able to support our body's natural ability to be healthy. So what can we eat? How can we live? What can we do to boost our liver health, our gastrointestinal health, our lung health, our kidney health? How do we do that? And that's my focus.
So Holly, are some of these cleanses actually bad for you?
You know, they really can be dangerous, especially the more extreme forms. Now, there are many different types of cleanses, and they're actually a big part of what is the $60 billion diet industry. I suggest being wary of cleanses that ask you to take something, whether it's heavy laxatives or some sort of colon cleansing concoction. Those can cause alterations in what we call our electrolyte balance. Those are things like chloride, potassium, and sodium, and even you could end up with heart rhythm abnormalities from that. Also, extreme low-calorie cleanses for people who have underlying medical illnesses or take medications, those can be a problem. On the other hand, there are nutritional juice and fruit cleanses, you know, where you focus primarily on vegetables and fruits, and you get a normal amount of calories. Those come with much less risk.
So what is your 14-day plan for us then?
Well, it includes food. It's all about eating and being healthy, and also mind-body connections. So we also can actually detoxify our thoughts. Juicing, colonics, enemas, they don't cleanse the system. So there's no scientific evidence that they do anything other than maybe make you hungry, or if you're juicing, maybe you get a nice bolus of some vegetables or fruits you don't normally get. But this plan is vegan, except for yogurt and honey. It has recipes that include beans and nuts and seeds and grains and tofu and vegetables and fruit and oatmeal and even sugar, because I don't believe that sugar is toxic in normal amounts,
right.
And tea. And what I've taken out are things that are very chemically, because as you know, Holly, a lot of the foods that we eat, the fast food, the junk food, the prepared foods, are chemically designed to make us crave them. So I want us to wean away from that chemical
Well, you feel it also,
addiction.
right after you eat something like that, you feel it.
But you also crave it. And people are like, I'm craving these foods, I need them. So I'm encouraging people to say, you know what, let's just eat plants for a couple weeks. I'm going to give you a step-by-step plan, recipes, menus. How do you do that? So that we can kind of wean ourselves from all of that processed food. And we know that a high animal-based diet is less healthy for us. The research is very clear that more plant-based makes us healthier and reduces the risk of chronic diseases like cancer and diabetes.
All right, next up, a new study finds a handful of walnuts a day could provide some big benefits for people at a high risk for diabetes. Researchers found that eating a small portion of walnuts a day led to significant improvements in total and bad cholesterol levels. Walnut consumption also helped improve the strength of blood vessel cell walls.
You know, one of the things that I found most interesting about this study was that in addition to some of the cardiovascular benefits that you just mentioned, people who ate a handful of walnuts a day ended up having a healthier diet overall. They basically made better choices throughout the rest of their day. Now, we couldn't say whether or not that was because they knew they were part of the study, or it could have to do with some of the healthy fats in nuts that maybe help us to control cravings. But I did like the idea of adding something to the diet to help you make better choices.
Well, you always hear about cashews and almonds. You rarely hear about walnuts.
Walnuts, yeah.
Well, actually, walnuts get a lot of press. They have good funding. So the study was actually funded by the California Walnut Commission, which is fine. But all nuts are healthy. Yeah. So almonds and peanuts and cashews and Brazil nuts and hazelnuts, and they all have healthy nutrient profiles. So eating a variety of nuts is a great idea to stay healthy.
Walnuts have good publicists.
Finally, the holiday season is here, and with so many parties and dinners beckoning, that could spell trouble for many of us. The average American gains 1 to 5 pounds between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day, and that is especially true for those already overweight. Is there a particular area that we're the worst, like in terms of where we go to parties, what we're eating?
I think what happens is we eat mindlessly at parties, and when those trays of appetizers, and we have to take one little spinach pie and one little mini quiche and maybe a cheese cube. If you look at the cheese cubes, about an ounce of cheese, which is this big. It's almost illegal only to eat that much cheese. It's over 100 calories. Yeah.
But I like cheese cubes.
I know.
You don't anymore.
but that's what you can do.
If I take the walnuts, will I be okay?
But they're high in calories too. So what you want to do is survey the party, what's being offered, and pick your favorites. And be very conscious of what you're choosing and what you're picking. Because when you eat those little appetizers, you don't really feel full.
So you're saying we should actually have a strategy for these things?
Absolutely. It's all about prayer and perspective. But also, realize the holidays are great, but they're stressful. And how do a lot of us respond to stress? We overeat, we overdrink. So keep that in mind and so have a plan when you walk into the party. Maybe eat before you go, stand far away from the buffet, and little changes to make the big difference.
Well, you mentioned the stress. I mean, is it our families that make us so stressed out during the holiday? What is the...
They've got nothing to do with it.
There's always some crazy, really annoying person you have to deal with over the holidays. So just expect them to be crazy and annoying and kind of rise above it and have a plan. If you have stressful eating triggers, stress, being sad, happy, depressed, whatever, make a plan. I'm going to go out and take a walk. I'm going to have a drink of water instead, and know what your triggers are so you can find ways to deal with them.
And just hope you're not the annoying person.
Yeah, and hope you're not.
Dr. Holly Phillips, Samantha Heller, thank you both so much.
Just have some cheese. No, sorry. Oh.